Hello and welcome to today's game between the Ivory Coast and Norway, here from Dallas. The round of 16 beckons for one of these two sides. Will it be the Ivory Coast and the young talents of Yan Diomande, or will it be Erling Haaland and Norway? Prevail and head through to face Brazil. Let's find out this evening and take a look at the teams, starting with the Ivory Coast. In goal for the Ivory Coast is Yahya Fofana. Across the back four, it's Gilia Doué, Odion Kasanu, Emmanuel Agbadou, and Ghislaine Conan. Ibrahim Sangare sits in front of the back four, and then there's a forward line of Nicolas Pépé, Frank Kessié, Christ Inau Alai, Yan Diomande behind the lone striker, and Johan Bonney. For Norway, Ørjan Nyland in goal. A back four of Marcus Pedersen, Christopher Ayer, Torbjorn Hagem, and David Moller-Wolf. Midfield three of Martin Ødegaard, Sander Berg, and Patrick Berg. And then a front three of Alexander Sorloth, Antonio Nusa, and Erling Haaland. Welcome in, guys, if you're joining. Let me know what your score predictions are for this one, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel to hear more commentaries like this. And also, if you are over on Twitch, welcome in. Do say hello. And if you're new here, don't forget to drop us a follow as well and share out the live to more people so we can get more people involved. So let's take a look then at the game in a little bit more detail as teams are just heading out for the national anthems. Two of the most inexperienced sides in World Cup knockout football meet in Arlington, Texas as host group stage David's Ivory Coast clash with a well-rested Norway. Ivory Coast qualified from a competitive Group E in second place with only an inferior head-to-head record against Germany, keeping them off top spot. Victories to nil against Ecuador and Curacao would have carried them into the knockouts for the first time ever at a World Cup. And should they win here, it'll only equal the tally of victories across their previous three global appearances combined. History suggests they're up against it, given that prior to this tournament, only two African nations had ever won their first knockout match at the World Cup. And even then, both required extra time. But Ivory Coast might still fancy their chances of getting this done inside 90 minutes after winning 6 of their last 7 internationals. Norway essentially threw away their chance of topping Group I on matchday 3 when they made 10 changes to their starting 11 against France. Ståle Solbakken described the decision as a no-brainer, given a top 2 finish was assured before kickoff. And although his side were punished with a 4-1 defeat against the French, comfortable victories over Senegal and Iraq prior should mean their returning stars are confident of regaining their stride here. They'd be wise to hone in on recent form, as history offers little inspiration for a side who've lost both prior World Cup knockout matches, but their form across the last 19 matches, won 14, drew 3 and lost 2, certainly hints that they can overcome the negative omen here. Whew. Head-to-head, the two nations have never met before, but Norway have lost just 2 of their 19 matches against African nations after beating Senegal 3-2 in the group stages. Nicolas Pépé is another guy to watch for the Ivory Coast today. He's got a great goal scoring record in the past couple. And fellow Asgard's first half strike against France ended a streak of 4 successive Norway goals to arrive after the hour mark. Wilfred Singo missed Ivory Coast's win against Curacao, while Norway are sweating over Julian Ryson's involvement moving forward in this tournament. If you are in the chat here, don't forget to drop us a comment for your score prediction, as we're just now going through the Norwegian national anthem before kickoff here in Dallas. I think it's going to be interesting to see Diomande up against Marcus Pedersen on that side. I think they could really start to try and penetrate down that side. And I was really impressed with Inau Alai in the group stages too. He looked very, very good. And there's obviously a bit of work to do for the Norwegian side to make sure they don't get overpowered by the energy throughout the Ivory Coast this evening. My prediction for this one is an Ivory Coast 2-1 win, although I wouldn't put it past Norway and Erling Haaland to grab a couple of goals as well in this one. Let's go. Oh, right. So they've just got oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I've got a couple of technical issues on this side. 2 seconds. Right, let's see if that changes anything. Okay, that's not loading, so I'm gonna do it a different way in a second. Bear with me, chat, because I was trying to search something, it wasn't working. I'm also intrigued to see how Bonnie does it alongside Ayer and Hegem this evening. See if we can get a bit of pace in the middle and have a few shots at Oyen Nyland in the Norwegian goal there. Norway are in all white with the goalkeeper in yellow. Ivory Coast will be in their orange and green this evening. And the match officials, which are striding across to this other side, are as follows. I can tell you in just a second here. It's Jesus Valenzuela, sorry, Jorge Uriga, Tula Moreno, Juan Gabriel Benitez, and Eduardo Cardoza. 3 Venezuelan officials and 2 Paraguayans. And then for VAR, it's Juan Lara, Juan Soto, and Jared Gillett from England as a support VAR. So they are the VAR officials. As we are about 2 minutes away from kickoff here in the round of 32 game between the Ivory Coast and Norway. If you are here, don't forget to drop a comment and say hello, and also drop in your score prediction, and also what is your opinions on the two sides today. Who do you think is going to be crucial in this game for both sides in getting a result for their sides? You let me know. Yeah. We're nearly about ready here. It's just going through the Norway side. So we'll run through the sides quickly again. Yahya Fafana in goal. Gwila Due, Odilon Kosanu, Emmanuel Agbedu and Gisle Conan, sorry. Then in front of them, Ibrahim Sangare, Nicolas Pepe, Frank Kessier, Christ Inau Ulai, and Jan Diamande behind Ange Johan Bonny. For Norway, Oyen Nyland in goal, Marcus Pedersen, Christopher Ayer, Torbjorn Hegem, and David Moller Wolf. Then in front of them, Martin Odegaard, Sander Berger, Patrick Berg, behind Alexander Soloff, Antonio Nusa, and Erling Haaland. They are your two sides for this one. And they'll be facing Brazil in the next round, of which I covered Brazil's game against Japan yesterday here on Turtle Talks. So if you didn't hear that one, do take a look at that for the next for your next video watching. I should be also doing the game between Spain and Austria on Thursday, as we are ramping up the games here, going through the knockout stages. We are nearly about ready here, I believe, as it's now hit 6 o'clock UK time, and I believe it is going to be and Johan Bonny who's going to get us kicked off and underway in just a second. Just gotta wait for the counter, and we are underway here, and it's gone back to Ibrahim Sangare. Give me 2 seconds. I've just noticed something on the graphics. It's gonna bug me. Right, there we go. That's better. Right. So the ball's now flicked up by Erdegaard and up towards Haaland, but it's headed forward again there by Odion Kosunu. Kosunu takes it down again, but it's given away now to Antonio Nusa. Nusa charging forward towards the edge of the box here is Antonio Nusa. Now cuts inside, blocked there by Sangare, and he comes back now as far as Muller Wolf. Muller Wolf now tries to get back to Nusa on this near side, blocked there of Nicolas Pépé, and out for a throw on this near side to Norway, which is going to be taken there by Muller Wolf, the Wolverhampton Wanderers fullback. He then throws one back now to Hegem, and Hegem across to Ayer, and Ayer now back across to Hegem. Hegem now back down this near side to Nusa. Nusa around the corner here for the run of Erdegaard, but it can't quite get past Cousineau. Cousineau now further inside to Pépé. It's intercepted there by Sanderberg. Sanderberg now gives it across to Ayer. Ayer now into Patrick Berg. Now to Berger. Now to Berg. Berg now brings it back the other way. I think that's Erdegaard, sorry, brings it back the other way and plays it wider now to that far side with the number 7, Sorloth, and now gives it back inside to Ayer. Ayer now plays it back across to Hegem, and Hegem now plays it inside to Sanderberg. Sanderberg looks up, sees a couple of runs, gives it now to Sorloth. Sorloth now goes back inside to Christopher Ayer. And Christopher Ayer now turns it back inside to Martin Erdegaard, who then gives it back to Hegem. Hegem now to Ayer. And Ayer now carries the ball towards halfway and plays it forward towards Surloth. He's got the run there on the far side for the other fullback there, Pedersen. Pedersen now dinks it into the box, looking towards Haaland. Heads it down, blocked by Agbadu, and it's now gone all the way out for a throw on that far side for Norway. Good early chance there for Erling Haaland. It's now come down to Erdegaard. The flag's gone up, and it's going to be a free kick to the Ivory Coast. There was obviously a little bit of there might have been an offside or a handball or something in that. I couldn't quite see from my angle, but it's now wide on that far side with Conan. Conan tries to get forward towards Diamande, who's got to have to play now for a Norway throw, which Pedersen will take and throws it inside to Erdegaard, gets it back now to Pedersen, now to Sanderberg, he gives it back to Christopher Ayer, and Ayer now looks up and gives it to Hegem, and now goes back to Christopher Ayer. Ayer now looks up and plays it across to Hegem, and Hegem carries it over halfway. Good run there by Hegem, and plays it across now to Martin Erdegaard. Erdegaard now dinks the ball over the top, looking for one of Haaland. It's taken down by Cousineau. Cousineau now tries to look for Conan. Too much on that, and it's going to go out for a Norway throw. It's taken by Pedersen, back to Erdegaard. Erdegaard to Ayer, back now to Erdegaard, inside to Sanderberg, now to Erdegaard. Erdegaard goes round his man, and is won back there by Diamande. Now Diamande can go scampering forward down that left-hand side, and plays it forward to Bonny. Bonny tries to go round Ayer. Good tackle there by Christopher Ayer, and in the end, I think it has gone out for a... So look at this again. I think it's come off of Bonny last and gone out for a goal kick to the Norwegians and Oyen Nyland. We're currently just looking at all of the passionate Norway fans here. And it's now back with Hegem, and Hegem down this near side to Muller Wolf. Muller Wolf round the corner to Nusa. Nusa tries to turn Gila Due, and couldn't quite do so and gets fouled. It's going to be a free kick to Norway, which Patrick Berg takes back quickly to Hegem. Now he goes even further back. I said sorry to Muller Wolf to Hegem, and it's now Christopher Ayer. Ayer now comes charging forward and looks up and plays it back now to Hegem. And Hegem now inside to Sanderberg. Now to Hegem again. And it's now with Wolf. Muller Wolf now goes further inside to Sanderberg, back now to Hegem, and Hegem now plays it forward, looking now towards Nusa. Nusa. Now he plays it back to Muller Wolf. Muller Wolf now gives it back again to Hegem, and Hegem gives it across to Christopher Ayer. Ayer looks up and plays a great ball out towards Pedersen. Pedersen now goes charging forward towards the edge of the box. Just Pedersen. Now he turns and plays it back now to Sorloth. Alexander Sorloth on that far side, battling away there with Conan. Well won in there by Conan. In the end, it's got out for an Ivory Coast throw over on that far side. And Conan gets ready to take this throw and launches this one in down towards Diamande. It's coming down to Bonnie. There's one that is deflected off of Patrick Berg and out for a throw on that far side with Conan. Conan inside now towards Kessier. But it's now gone further out again for another throw, which Conan will take. And he throws it back now to Agbadou. And Agbadou gives it back to Fafana, who then clears it long. But it's won back there by Patrick Berg, and now headed forward by Sangare towards this near side with Nicolas Pépé. He gives it back inside to Sangare, who turns it back now to Cousineau. Cousineau now to Pépé again. Here, Pépé turns, having a run down that far side, gets away from Newson and plays it round the corner here for Bonnie, but it's cleared away there by Heckham and out for an Ivory Coast throw on this near side. Actually, that was towards Kessier, but it's still gone out for an Ivory Coast throw anyway down this near side. It's now with Nicolas Pépé again, cuts inside. Good run this by Pépé. Now gives it back wider to Bonnie to Pépé. Now it's with Guiladoué. Ball into the box. Diamande jumps. Gets underneath it more than being able to head it away. And Sorloth here clears this one, but only as far now as Inau Ulai. Now to Kessier. Kessier now down this near side to Doué. And Doué now back inside to Kessier. Kessier plays it forward to Bonnie. Bonnie turns it back wider now to Diamande. Diamande wider to Conan. Conan whips towards the box. Colquitt gets towards the back post, gets flipped back by Moller Wolf. It's now come down to Pépé. Good trickery into the box now for Pépé. And it's claimed there by Moller Wolf, but only now to be won back by Pépé again. Now gives it back to Kessier, and Kessier to Guiladoué. Guiladoué now round the corner against Nicolas Pépé. Good run from Pépé. He's got to try and get round Moller Wolf, then into the box. Pulls the ball into the box, and it's cleared behind there for a corner by Hegem. Good play that there from the Ivory Coast. And it's now going to be a corner, which will be taken on this near side. Pierluigi Collina, Elfinger Haaland, and Gianluigi Infantino are in the crowd this afternoon as we get ready for this corner to be taken now by Nicolas Pépé when the referee, the Venezuelan, is ready. And Nicolas Pépé whips it into the box towards that post. It's just evaded there, Kessier, and it's going to go out for a goal kick to Norway. Decent corner in there, but he just couldn't quite get his head on that, could Frank Kessier. And it's going to be a goal kick to be taken there by Oyen Nyland. And Nyland now plays it wider to Ayer. Ayer now. And he plays it across to Hegem. Hegem carries the ball forward. Good play this by Hegem. And he plays it now to Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf now plays it back there to Oyen Nyland. Nyland carries the ball forward, then plays it to Ayer. Ayer jogging forward inside his own half, and then plays it across to Hegem. Good ball this now wider to Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf looks up, trying to find Nusa, didn't opt that for that option. Goes back now to Nyland. Nyland turns this one and clears it all the way forward. Good ball over the top. Headed inside now by Sorloth. It's now won back there by Ulai. Now it's gone back to Cousineau. Cousineau, who gives it to Guladia. And it's good strength there from Doué. And he plays now back to Cousineau. Now inside Sangare. Sangare. Good feet from Sangare. And he plays it forward towards Kessier. It's that one back there by Kezier. And he goes charging forward and plays the ball through, looking there for the run of Bonnie. But it's played back there by Hager and cleared by Nyland. Nyland now up, it's flicked away there by Sangare back to Agbedu, and Agbedu now can take this down and play it quickly forward to Alai. Alai, but it's one back there by Erdegaard. Now to Sander Berge. Now wide to Noosa. Noosa forward again there to Erdegaard. Tried to play it through towards Haaland, but a good interception there by Odilon Kusano. It's now with Nicolas Pépé. He plays it inside to Kessier. Now to Dewey. And Dewey tries to play it forward again there, but it's one back by Sorloff. But I think it's alleged to have been a free kick earlier in the move to the Ivory Coast, which halts the Norway play. Decent start in the first 11 minutes here in Dallas. Big good end-to-end stuff. It's just lacking the final end product so far. But both sides definitely have pushing and probing in this one, as Kusano now plays it across to Agbedu. Agbedu now gives it across to Conan. Conan cuts inside and plays it forward to Diamande. Now gives it wider on that far side to Alai. Now to Diamande. Back to Alai. A line out inside to Kezier to Sangare. Sangare now plays it wider on this near side to Due. Gila Due. Now further inside to Nicolas Pépé. To Sangare. Back to Nicolas Pépé. He now plays it inside to Agbedu. Agbedu over halfway now. Gives it to Alai. And Alai now cuts back inside the other way and gives it to Kessier and gets it back there as Alai. And he plays it wide now to Conan. Conan on that far side. He's trying to get around Pedersen, but he gives it back to Alai. Alai over the top, and that's just a terrible ball through the gap. It's a good idea, terrible execution, and it's going to be a goal kick for Norway and Oyen Nyland. We've had 12 minutes gone here. It is the Ivory Coast 0, Norway 0 here on Turton Talks. If you are new here, don't forget to drop me a subscribe and a like so you can hear more commentaries like this. And if you're on Twitch, thank you for joining us on Twitch. Don't forget to drop us a follow as well. As the ball now comes scampering forward with Moller Wolf, who plays it forward to Noosa. Antonio Noosa trying to get through too. Can't get past Sangare. It's now with Kusano back to Sangare, plays it through the gap towards Diamande, and then it's dinked over to looking towards Conan, but Sorloff can head that one back. And it's now again with Sorloff. Good running there from Alexander Sorloff, trying to get away there from Alai, but it's one back by Conan. And it's now with Alai again, back inside to Kessier, now back to Unai Alai. And it's now gone across to this near side with Kusanao. Kusanao goes across this near side to Dewey. Dewey over top to Bonnie. Couldn't quite get it under his stride. It goes all the way through to Nyland. And it's now come back the other way with Sander Berge. Sander Berge now gives it wider to Sorloff. Sorloff back inside now to Sander Berge. And it's now gone back to Pedersen. Pedersen now gives it back to Nyland. Nyland looks up and plays it across this near side to Muller Wolf. Muller Wolf looks up and he plays it back now to Hegem. Hegem carries the ball forward and plays it across to Christopher Ayer. Ayer now back across to Hegem. And Hegem now carries the ball towards halfway and plays it over halfway to Moller Wolf. He's now looking for the run there, Patrick Berg. Can't quite get the ball to Patrick Berg, so it's gone out for a Ivory Coast throw, which Gila Due is going to take quickly in a second here. And Due now plays it back to Kusano. Kusano gives it back to Yair Fafana. And he gives it out to Agbedu. Agbedu turns it back inside and dinks it over the top of Haaland and gives it now to Kusano. Kusano carries the ball out of the area here and plays it inside to Kessier. Kessier carries the ball forward and plays it wide to Jan Diamande. Diamande carrying the ball. He's trying to get past Pedersen. Having a run there at Pedersen is Diamande. Good run that by Diamande. He goes down. Nothing given, so he gets back up and charges after it. And in the end, he sees it behind for a corner to the Ivory Coast. Which will be taken by Jan Diamande on that far side. The Ivory Coast left. It's going to be an in-swinging corner on that far side. They've got Due and Kessier and a couple was in the box. Whipped in now, headed away there by Alexander Sorloth. It comes down now to Alai. I think that might be Kessier. Now plays it down the line to Due. Due looks up, whips the ball into the box. Diamande makes a run, taken down by Diamande, but it just bounces straight off him and out of play for a Norway goal kick. Just like again, product so far here at Ivory Coast, but they're definitely looking the more dangerous of the two sides when they come forward. They just need to have a few actual clear-cut chances. But start with Sander Berge, get it down this near side to Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf now forward to Noosa. Noosa further inside to Patrick Berg. Now gives it back to I think that was back to Hegem. Now it's with Sander Berge. Berge across to Ayer. Ayer goes scampering forward as the Ayer. Now wide to Alexander Sorloth. Sorloth now gives it back to Pedersen and now across to Hegem. Hegem now forward to Sander Berge. Berge inside his own half. Looks up and plays it across now to Christopher Ayer. Ayer now brings the ball over halfway. He's got options left and right. Gives it to Sander Berge. Now he gives it wide to Pedersen. Pedersen now slides it across to Sander Berge. It's now with Ayer. Ayer scampering forward and gives it out to Sorloth. Sorloth cuts inside. It's one back there by Jan Diamande. And he gives it inside to Kessier to Sangare. Sangare now turns it back inside the other way and gives it now to Agbadou. And Agbadou to Conan. Back to Agbadou. Agbadou now gives it back to Fofana. And Fofana now clears this one out to this near side with Nicolas Pépé. Pépé now gives it back to Cousineau. Odilon Cousineau gives it back to Fofana, and Fofana now out wider to Agbadou, and Agbadou now to Conan, and Conan to Diamande. Diamande gives it back now to Conan, who gives it further inside to Alai. Alai, good run into the midfield, now plays it wide across this near side to Nicolas Pépé. Nicolas Pépé, good takedown by the Ivorian winger towards the edge of the box. Now plays it round the corner there to Due, back inside to Pépé. Pépé further across now and gets the ball back again, does Pépé. Off of Kessier. And Pépé now has seen the ball go out of play for a goal kick. Pépé is complaining like mad here, is Nicolas Pépé. He wants the ball played earlier and a bit more of off the ball running. It was definitely not offside, but he wanted a bit more movement there, did Nicolas Pépé. And it's the Ivory Coast 0, Norway 0 after 18 minutes here in Dallas. As it's now with Christopher Ayer. Ayer now plays it out to Patrick Berg. That's Erdegaard. And Erdegaard now gives it to Hegem. And Hegem now looks up and plays it to Ayer. And Ayer now back to Martin Erdegaard. Plays wider now to Pedersen. And Pedersen now gives it back to Erdegaard. And Erdegaard now turns this one back to Nyland. Nyland's now out to Hegem. Hegem looks up, plays it now wider to Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf now gives it back inside to Hegem. Hegem, he looks up, sees no movement, so gives it inside now to Sander Berge, and Berge now gives it back to Nyland. Nyland, he looks up and plays it out to Ayer. Ayer, it's a bit static here from Norway, so he has to get it back inside again to Sander Berge. Now inside to Erdegaard, who's made the run the other side. Erdegaard carries the ball towards halfway, looks up, turns back inside, and then plays it back to Sander Berge. Then makes a great run off the ball. Sander Berge now looks up. He's not quite seeing the run of Erdegaard a bit further forward, so he now plays it square to Ayer. And Ayer now turns it back across to Hegem. Hegem, he looks up and plays it wider now to Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf scampers inside towards Noosa. He's let it run there for Sorloth. Sorloth now plays it wide for Moller Wolf, who tries to play the ball across and it's deflected behind there. Well, I thought it was deflected behind for a corner, but I don't think the referee has given that. I think he's given a throw to the Ivory Coast. Let's have a quick look here. He's just the less it runs to Sorloth, and Sorloth played it wider towards Moller Wolf. And I think it might be a it's a throw which Due takes inside towards Pépé. Now Sangare. Kessier plays it back now to Agbadou, and Agbadou plays it forward to Alai. Alai. He turns now and gives it to Conan, and Conan wider to Jan Diamande. Diamande. Scampering towards the edge of the box here is Diamande. He cuts inside and gives it now to Kessier. Kessier. He gives it across the Diamande, and it's now wider on that far side there to Conan. Conan cuts inside, hits the shot, and it's into the side netting. Really should have got across goal there, did Conan. He tries to get it into the near post, and in the end, he just smashes into the side netting here. Got everybody a little bit excited for a moment there, but couldn't quite get it to squeeze into the near post. But probably the first clear chance towards Nyland's goal from the Ivorians. As it's now with Ayer. Ayer. He looks up and plays it across now to Pedersen, and Pedersen now across to Ayer. Ayer. He looks up. Still has it now as Ayer. And he plays it across now to Martin Ødegaard. Ødegaard carrying the ball towards halfway. Good run this by Ødegaard. Looks up. He has to turn back. And then plays it across to number 17 there, which is Hegem. And now to Nusa. Nusa. He cuts inside and he gives it to Patrick Berg. Now back to Nusa. Nusa looks up. There's a bit of a run in front of him, but he goes back now to Patrick Berg, and I'm further back now with Hegem, and Hegem across to Ayer. Ayer. He looks up and plays it now back inside to Hegem, and Hegem goes wider to Patrick Berg. Berg. Now he gives it inside to Sanderberg. Berg now to Patrick Berg, and Berg looks up and plays to Nusa. Nusa plays it inside now to Sanderberg. Sanderberg looks up and plays it forward now to Ødegaard. Back to Sanderberg. He plays it now across to Hegem. Hegem looks up. He plays it wide to Antonio Nusa. Can't quite get around Gula Due. And that is going to be a throw to Norway. Level with the Ivory Coast penalty area. Good opportunity here to get the big man forward and launch this one into the Ivory Coast box. In fact, it's actually a corner, not a throw. So even better opportunity to launch this one into the box for the corner to be taken by Patrick Berg. From this near side Norway left with an in-swinger. Number 6, Patrick Berg. Whips this one in. It goes towards the near post. It goes all the way through and bounces out now to Antonio Nusa. He's left it. Bonnie tried to get there. And there's a bit of a collision there with Diamande. And Diamande and Ødegaard. And in the end, I think they've given a free kick here to the Ivory Coast for Muller Wolf blocking off Diamande. If you are new over on YouTube, don't forget to drop me a subscribe here and also say hello, drop a comment, and don't forget to also drop a like so you never miss a commentary here in the World Cup and beyond. I'll also bring you domestic football commentaries too for the next season, so do drop us a subscribe as well on YouTube, and if you're on Twitch, don't forget to drop us a follow on there as well, and also say hello over on there. As we have now reached the first hydration break of the half here in Dallas. So there is the hydration break. Good play there so far. I've really enjoyed the first 23 minutes. Decent movement from Ivory Coast. They had a couple of chances. Conan had one. Nicolas Pépé got it on the other side. If the ball was played a little bit quicker into him, I think he'd have had a decent chance to get the ball past Oyen Nyland. Not really had too much from the Norwegians yet. There's been a bit of play around the box, but nothing really clear cut apart from one header from Erling Haaland, which was just headed straight into, I think it was Agbadu. But really, there's not been too much in terms of goal mouth action, but it's been end to end nevertheless anyway. So the hydration break has come at a time where really probably both sides didn't particularly want it to happen, as both sides were really growing into the flow of the game. Let's hope that it's not going to take too much of an impact in terms of making it a bit slower, because so far this has been an exceptionally good half of football. But we're still no close to knowing who's going to break the deadlock here so far. And to be fair, I'm liking this Christ in Ally. He looks very good, very quick off the ball, very mobile. Him and Frank Kessié are really helping Sangare deal with the three midfielders in there for Norway, Berge, Berger, and Ødegaard. I'd like to see a bit more sharpness from Jan Diomande. I think this guy has got an incredible amount of pace and talent, and I think if you can really get a run at Pedersen, he'll get in on goal. But I'd also like to see a bit more from Antonio Nusa for Norway, as so far he's been a little bit kind of lacking the confidence to take on his man Gila Due. Maybe if they switch Soloff and Noosa over for a bit, give Noosa a chance of a run at Conan, they might get a bit of a chance there, the Norwegians. If you are new here, don't forget to drop a subscribe and a like on YouTube and also on Twitch. Don't forget to drop us a follow. It is good to have you here, guys. Hello, hello. Welcome in. How are we? Do say hello. And if you are watching the game, do let me know what your thoughts are on the game. And if you are just listening to my commentary, how has your day been? As it's now forward with Frank Kessié, but I think they have to rotate that again here. Is Ibrahim Sangare. The referee wasn't quite ready. Now we can get restarted. It's played back to Kusanau. Kusanau to Agbedu. Agbedu out to Conan. Conan over the top now. Looking here for the run of Diomande, but it's gone back now to Conan. And Diomande is now battling over on the far side with Pedersen. And Pedersen now plays it forward to Ødegaard, but it's judged to have gone out of play there for a throw to the Ivory Coast. The referee's having to lob that one back out towards that far side. It's now gone back to Odilon Kusanau. Kusanau all the way back to Yahia Fofana. Fofana. He now dinks the ball into midfield now towards Eli. Eli turns. Good play there from Eli. And now gone wide to Conan. Conan. Good run round his man there and plays it further inside to Kessié. Kessié looks up and plays it forward now towards Diomande. Diomande having a run now towards the edge of the box here. Still there, whips the ball into the box towards the back post. Nicolas Pépé hits it across the goal, but it's flicked over the top there by Christopher Ayer. Really should have gone towards the far post there instead of trying to square that Pépé. But in the end, he does get a corner out of it because Christopher Ayer had to react well and flick that one over the top of the bar as Nicolas Pépé tried to get that one across towards Bonny. But good play that from Christopher Ayer. It's now going to be Nicolas Pépé to whip this ball in from this near side. Pépé ready to take this corner when the referee is ready. From this near side, whips it in swinging. It's gone through now out towards Diomande. Diomande now round the corner again here to Nicolas Pépé. Pépé now whips the ball in towards the back post. It's gone bouncing down towards Conan, but there's too much on that. Actually, it's towards the back post in Kessié. Couldn't quite do anything with that, and it's gone quickly out to Soloff. Actually, that's Ødegaard. And Ødegaard now looks up and plays it to Soloff, who gives it back now inside to Ayer. Ayer, he plays it across now to Hegem. Hegem, he looks up. Good run this by Hegem. He gives it wider to David Muller-Wolf, who goes charging forward. Gives it through now towards Nusa. Good play this by Nusa. Battling there. Good play. He gives it again, does Nusa. Inside now towards Ødegaard. Battling. He goes down under a tackle. It's now going to stand a Berge. They can't quite get through. And now Kessié can play it out towards Nicolas Pépé on this near side. And he can go charging forward the other way now, Nicolas Pépé. Good run this from Pépé. This is direct into the box. And he's flicked that in towards the back post. And it's put behind for another corner there by Marcus Pedersen. Bit of a poor ball in the end from Nicolas Pépé. There's a bit of a question whether he could have continued into the box and hitting a curled shot. But in the end, he tried to put it towards the back post. And there was a bit of a poor ball there. And now Jan Diomande is going to get ready to take this corner on the far side. the Ivory Coast left. This one will also be in swung. Whips this ball into the box. It's bouncing around there and it goes out for another corner there off of Christopher Ayer. There's a couple of players down here for Norway. I think one's is Christopher Ayer and the other at the back post I think is Muller Wolf. I can't say for definite, but I think the other one was Muller Wolf. We've only seen the guy hit the deck and nothing closer than that so far. And the ball comes in again. It's headed out there by Burge back to Diamande. Diamande on this far side gives it now inside further to Alai. It's one back there by Noosa, but only as far as Pépé. Pépé now trying to go round that side, and it's blocked there by I think it was Muller Wolves, and it's gone out for a goal kick. It must have flicked off of Nicolas Pépé at the time, or has it given a free kick? They may even given a free kick here. No, it's definitely a goal kick. Nyland was just confusing me as he took a bit of time to come and collect this ball. It's going to be a goal kick after 31 minutes here on Certain Talks. It is the Ivory Coast 0, Norway 0. And Nyland clears this one long upfield, up towards Sorloth. Good header forward there by Conan towards Diamande, but it's now gone out to play for a Norway throw, which will be taken by Pedersen. Pedersen launches this one inside towards Erdegaard, who flicks it on now to Haaland. Very quiet half so far for Erling Haaland, but he's had a couple of headers now out to Sorloth, and Sorloth now gives it inside to Patrick Berge. Patrick Berge, and now inside to Sander Berge. Sander Berge now gives it down this near side to Muller Wolf, back inside to Sander Berge. He gives it now back to Hegem. Hegem now plays it inside to Sander Berge, now to Hegem again here. And it's now gone wider to Muller Wolf. Wolf now gives it back to Hegem, and Hegem now turns, looks up. There isn't many options here, unmarked and running. It's a little bit static from Norway, so he's got to continue holding on to the ball here and twisting and turning, trying to go towards halfway. Gives it now wide to Antonio Noosa. Good play this by Noosa, and then plays it wide across to that far side now to Alexander Sorloth. Sorloth, but it's one back there by Conan, and now play forward there to the number 17, Due. That might even be Diamande that's played forward towards Bonnie. And Bonnie deflects this now off of Ayer and out for another corner. We'll play that again there from the Ivory Coast. Norway being a little bit sloppy in possession though, going the other way. Oh. It's with Bonnie, and then Hegem flicks that out for a corner, which Jan Diamande is going to get ready to take on that far side. The Ivory Coast left. It's going to get ready to be whipped in here by Jan Diamande. Diamande still waiting for the corner to come in, and now it's slid in low. It's flicked on there by Kessier, and Kessier plays it now out towards Alai. Alai runs into the box on this near side, then brings it back out and wide, loses a bit of control, but then still manages to get hold of it, does Alai. And it's now with number 7, Cousineau. Cousineau around the corner now to the number 6 there for the Ivory Coast, which was it 6? Might have been 26. Actually, it's 8 in Kessier. He's now whipped it in the box again here. It bounces down now towards Agbadou, and that is ballooned forward up in the air and claimed by Nyland. And he charges out towards the edge of his box here and ready to bowl this one out for Norway. At half time, I will be taking a quick 15-minute break, and I'll be back for the second half, but we have to get there first. It's now with Tegum. Tegum now carries the ball out and plays it. Well, actually, he hasn't played it yet. He's still got hold of it. And it's really started to slow the game down, is Tegum, and plays it now to Muller Wolf. Muller Wolf now gives it back to Nyland. Nyland, he plays the ball now wider out towards Sorloth, but it's gone way out of play there for a throw to the Ivory Coast, which easily Conan will take, and he's played it back now to Agbadou, and Agbadou inside to Christ Inai Alai. Alai now across the stairs out to Sangare. Sangare down the line on this near side now to Due, and Due trying to get around the corner here. Good battling there by Gila Due, but it's gotten out in the end off of him, and it's going to be a Norway throw, which will be taken here by Muller Wolf inside to Tibor and Tegum. It's now with Nyland, who clears this one long upfield, looking now for the run of Sorloff, and it's headed inside, but it's now Sangare is headed forward, looking towards Bonnie. Can't quite get there, and now Agbudy's headed forward again. It's taken down by Sander Berge. He's tried to give it wide towards Odegaard, but it's one back there by Diamande. It's now with Antonio Nusa. Nusa, he gives it back to Tegum. Tegum now, and he gives it across to Christopher Ayer. Ayer looks up and plays it wider still now to Pedersen. It's now coming forward here with Erdegaard. Erdegaard wider to Alexander Sorloff. Sorloff trying towards the edge of the box here, trying to get past Conan. Good runners by Sorloff. Whips it into the box. Haaland heads it down, but straight into the hands there of Yair Fafana. And Ivory Coast will look to build the other way. Not really a decent enough header. Didn't really fling himself at that, did Erling Haaland. He just jumped and let it hit him. And in the end, it bounced up, down, and into the hands of David, in the hands of Jair Fafana. The foul there on Diamande, but you've got to be careful he doesn't do that card symbol too much. As we're now looking to have another free kick with the Ivory Coast, as we just watched that chance again for Erling Haaland. It's now with Nicolas Pépé. Pépé, he dinks the ball over the top. It's up towards Bonnie. Bonnie, good run this by Bonnie. Good hold up play. Still going as Bonnie. Can't quite get towards Pépé. It's now with Patrick Berg and goes back to Muller Wolf. Muller Wolf. Out to Nusa, gets it back to Patrick Berger. Berger inside to Nusa. Nusa goes charging towards the edge of the box. He squares it now to Erdegaard. Erdegaard. And he plays it back now looking towards Sander Berge. Sander Berge, he gives it wider to Marcus Pedersen. And Pedersen now looks up and plays it wider to Alexander Sorloff. Sorloff now gives it back to Martin Erdegaard. And it's now back with Christopher Ayer. Ayer, he gives it to Erdegaard. And Erdegaard now charges this one back inside towards the centre circle. And in the end, it's going to be turned back now to Sander Berge. It's now with Christopher Ayer. Ayer back to Sander Berge. And Sander Berge now plays it forward, looking there for the run of that's going to run a Muller Wolf out towards Nusa. Nusa looks up, plays it back now again to Sander Berge. And it's now gone wider to Nusa. Nusa tricking and turning. Hits the shot. And that's the first goal of the game here. And it's scored by Antonio Nusa. And he whips that one towards the back post. What a goal into the top corner past Yair Fafana. And Antonio Nusa puts Norway ahead here in Dallas. And so far, it looks like Norway will be the ones going through to play Brazil. And Antonio Nusa on 38 minutes puts Norway into the lead. It was good play here, good trickery by Nusa. And he pushes that ball out of his feet and then curls that towards the top right-hand corner. No stopping that from Yair Fafana. And that's a great goal from Antonio Nusa. Advantage Norway. Ivory Coast 0, Norway 1. And Ivory Coast have it all to do now if they are wanting to go through to the round of 16 here in the FIFA World Cup 2026. But we have the breakthrough with about 5 minutes plus added time to go until half time. I was saying at the hydration break, I wanted to see Noosa be a little bit more confident and brave. Well, there we have it. Antonio Noosa was brave and he pinged that towards the back post to put Norway ahead. And Norway now have a throw on the far side, which will be taken by Marcus Pedersen. He launches that ball back now towards Christopher Ayer. And it's gone all the way back now to Tegum. And Tegum turns, looks up, plays it across to Ayer. He plays it inside to Sander Berge. And Berge now around the corner to Erdegaard. He gives it back now to Pedersen. And it's now tried to run back there by Conan, but it's gone out towards the runner of Pedersen charging forward, trying to get past Conan and then past Agbadu. It's now gone back to Sorloth. Sorloth whips the ball into the box. It's flicked up in the air. Haaland then hits the shot wide, and it's given us a corner. Norway have a corner, and they definitely now look like they're on top towards the back end of this half to the Norwegians. Ivory Coast need to get a little bit of a foothold into this one. If Haaland had scored, then I think it'd have been given as offside for Sorloth. The ball must have come in from Erdegaard, but Sorloth tried to head that one down in the end, but Haaland couldn't quite connect with it, and the Ivory Coast players have it all to do to work this one out. As it's now with Mother Wolf. At this point, it was Patrick Berg with the corner. Patrick Berg whips this ball in, up towards the back end of the box. Loads of Norway players went flying towards the back post. Haaland and Sorloth, and the ball just about evades everybody and goes out of play for a goal kick. As Sorloth went crashing forward, no one could quite connect with that. It even came off the back post there, number 17, Tegum. But Yahya Fofana now is going to get ready to take a goal kick. Fofana clears this one long up towards, well, I was trying to go towards Bonnie, but it's now gone back to Agbadu. Agbadu now wider to Conan. Conan turns this further inside to Sangare, and Sangare back to Agbadu. Agbadu now plays it over the top there. Way too much on that, and it goes all the way through to Orjan Nyland. Nyland now slows the game down. Body runs into the box, so it's played out now by out towards Ayer. He now looks up and plays it further forward to Erdegaard, and Erdegaard now inside to Sander Berge. Sander Berge looks up and plays it across to Muller Wolf. Out towards the goal scorer Noosa. He plays now back inside and gives the ball away here to Bonnie. Bonnie cuts inside. He had a lot to do there. Couldn't quite get it to Diamande, but it's gone wide now to Alai, good run. Now plays it wider still to Conan. Good play. Tried to pull the ball across, but it's deflected behind for an Ivory Coast corner. And the Ivory Coast player there, I think it was Conan, was not very happy with the movements and players getting in the way of each other. They need to focus and stop trying to rush things here to the Ivory Coast as Diamande gets ready to take the corner on that far side. Diamande now whips the ball into the box. It's punched out by Orjan Nyland. Only as far now as Conan. Conan plays it wide to Diamande on that far side. Diamande round the corner now looking towards the run there of, I think that was Kessier. But it's gone all the way over the top and out of play. I think it was for a corner. So it must have deflected off, I think it was Ayer, and out for a corner for Nicolas Pépé. Nicolas Pépé is going to get ready to take this corner in a moment once the officials are satisfied there isn't too much pushing and shoving. And Nicolas Pépé now gets ready to take this on this near side. Nicolas Pépé. Two arms up in the air from Nicolas Pépé. Now whips the ball into the box. It's gone all the way through. It comes now down towards Kessier. A player's gone down. They're appealing for it, but Noosa's brought the ball away. Noosa now gets pulled to the floor. And I'm not quite sure whether there's going to be a free kick for that either. So I think it's going to be a throw to the Ivory Coast. We're still being Ivory Coast 0, Norway 1. The referee here is signaling no, no, no. They're trying to claim a pull of a shirt. I'm not convinced that there's enough in that. And I think Marcus Pedersen will be told to take this throw in a moment. The referee has signalled that yes, he can take the throw. And he launches it now to Sorloth. There's going to be 4 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half. So we've got 4 minutes left of this half. And it's now going to be a free kick for a foul on Gila Due. And a yellow card has now been brandished in the direction of Patrick Berg. What is Patrick Berg? No, actually, it's probably going to be for Antonio Nusa, the goal scorer, who has tripped Gila Due. Good position this for a free kick for the Ivorians. And Antonio Nusa now walks a tightrope of being on the yellow card for the rest of the game. But he has also put Norway 1-0 up here in Dallas. A minute has ticked by and we've probably had about 30 seconds of that. We'll see if the referee does that anymore on at the end of the 4 minutes. As we're still waiting here as Nicolas Pépé is lining this one up, ready to launch this into the box. Is Nicolas Pépé. Dinks it towards the back post. It's headed down and wide by Emmanuel Agbadou. And it's going to be a goal kick here for Norway. Poor header in the end from Emmanuel Agbadou. He's headed that down. They're trying to claim corner again here. They're not going to get that. It's going to be a goal kick to Norway. And Nyland gets ready to take this goal kick, going from right to left in this first half. And he's cleared this one long, upfield towards Sorloth, who flicks it on, looking towards Haaland, but it's easily claimed there by Agbadou. Agbadou tries to play that forward, but it's given away now to Erdegaard, but it's going to be a throw in the end to Norway anyway, because he sees that behind. He's now played that back to Pedersen. He goes further back now to Ayer, and Ayer now plays it back to Orjan Nyland. Nyland now to Hegem. Hegem is now charging this one out. Gives it to Mother Wolf. Mother Wolf now turns. Good ball. He gives it across now to Sander Berge. Sander Berge. He gives it across that far side to Marcus Pedersen. Pedersen. He now plays it inside to Ayer. Ayer turns it back wide to Pedersen. Pedersen looks up, plays it now to Ayer. There's space on this near side for number 5, Moller Wolf, if they want to use him. They decide to go over the top the other way, though, towards the onrushing Sorloth. They're behind there by Agbadutas Fafana. Fafana now plays it wide near side to Nicolas Pépé. And Nusa tries to win that ball back. In the end, does get the free kick. Not the free kick, the throw. Does Antonio Nusa. And it's going to be a throw now with Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf has played about 3 of the 4 minutes here. It's thrown in now to Patrick Berg. Now to Antonio Nusa. And Due now sees that one behind for a throw to the Ivory Coast. And he launches that down the line now, looking towards Bonnie. Bonnie flicks the ball in there to the run of Pépé. But he can't quite get there. So Due now plays it forward. Trying to say, have another go. Bonnie now brings it down. But can't quite get away from Patrick Berg. It's now with Sander Berge. And Berge now, he gives it back to Christopher Ayer. Ayer. He now plays it forward to Sander Berge. And Sander Berge now looking to this far side. But that's it for the first half, guys. Ivory Coast 0, Norway 1. Here's a difference in the first half. And there was a goal from Antonio Nusa. But before that, there was a couple of chances for Yandi Amande and another chance there for Eli. But there wasn't really many more clear-cut chances for Norway. I am going to take a quick 15-minute break here, get myself a new drink and things. But I shall see everybody for the second half. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back here in Dallas for the second half. We are nearly about ready to get underway, and we are actually now underway here in Dallas. That was a very, very quick turnaround from the break. Um, but here we are back live, and it is now going to be a free kick for offside against Johan Bonny. So we are back now underway for the second half, where Ivory Coast are chasing that all-important goal to stay in the tournament. Otherwise, Norway will progress to play Brazil. It's now with Tegum and forward to Burge. Burge back to Tegum. Tegum wider now to that far side with Wolf. And it's going to be a Norway throw, which Wolf is going to get ready to take over on that far side. Just want to address a couple of comments. I want to say hello to Ashley, who joined us at halftime. And also hello to Ezra as well, who dropped in on the YouTube side. Thank you for joining us. Very much is appreciated if you are on YouTube. Don't forget to drop the YouTube channel a subscribe. And if you're on Twitch again, don't forget to drop us a follow over on that side as well. As we now have a free kick, which will be taken by Ibrahim Sangare. And he gives it now across to Kusano out to that far side to Due. Due played forward to Eli. Eli now to Bonnie. Bonnie looks up and goes. Got ball all the way back in the end into the path of Haaland, but it's cleared away there by Kusano, and now it's got to be one back down there by Pedersen. Pedersen, he's played it back now to Nyland, and Nyland dinks that ball back out towards Pedersen, and it's been there's a shove there on Eli, but it's gone out for a throw in the end to Norway. Norway. Ads. Ashley's in ads on Twitch. Oh dear. It's now with yeah, battling with Eli. And Eli now gives it across now to the number 3 there, which is Conan. And it's now gone all the way back to Kusano. Kusano. He gives it across to Agbadu. And Agbadu now carries this ball forward. Good charge by Agbadu now to Conan. Conan to Agbadu. Agbadu across to Kusanau. Kusanau carries the ball forward. He plays it across to Due. And Due inside now to Kessier. It's now forward to Sangare. Sangare looks up just inside the own half. Now goes over halfway to Sangare. Looks up. Plays it across now to Eli. And Eli now plays it back across the other way now to Kusanau. Kusanau now plays it across to Sangare. And Sangare now looks up and plays it forward. Good ball in towards the run there of Diamande. Now to Conan. Conan whips the ball into the box. Way too much on that, but it's come all the way through to Nicolas Pépé. Pépé charges into the box. Good run. Now pulls the ball back and gives it now to Due. Due whips the ball in. And Nine has to stretch to push that one out towards Conan. Conan, he now plays it inside Diamande. Diamande now slides the ball in towards the on-rushing Nicolas Pépé. And in the end, I think it has gone behind for a corner. And it's now with Jan Diamande to take this corner on this near side. When the referee is satisfied there's not too much pushing and shoving going off here, we shall get this underway with this corner, which we whipped in swinging by Jan Diamande. He's now asking, can he take it? He's asking what the problem is. The referee is now coming across to Jan Diamande to have a word. I think he wants the ball moving slightly further back inside the quadrant. It's now inside the quadrant. Yay, a referee has finally become pedantic on that. Let's go. And Diamande now whips the ball into the box. And it's cleared away there by Christopher Ayer, only as far as Conan. Conan now flicks that ball up. And it's headed down by lie, but it's going to go all the way back now to Yaya Fafana. And Fafana now gives it to Conan, and Conan to a lie. A lie. Goes to the other side now to Nicolas Pépé. Good ball out there to Due. Due now plays the ball into the box. It's flicked up in the air now towards Bonnie. Bonnie comes down towards Kessier. But it's now won back there by a year and played forward now towards. Well, she's given offside, so they got to take the all the way back for a free kick. That was a good takedown by Desire Due. Not Desire Due. That's stupid. It's not Desire Due. It's Gilia Due. There's two men played with the same names in this tournament. It's now going to be a free kick declared by Nyland, and Nyland clears this one long up towards the onrushing. Well, it was actually towards Soloff, but it's come back down now to Conan. Conan dinks the ball down the line, looking towards Jan Diamande, but it's easily put behind there by Christopher Ayer for another corner, which will again be taken by Jan Diamande on this near side. Ivory Coast have again come out pressing in this first period of the second half, but it's now with Alai. Alai tries to play the ball across towards Pépé, couldn't quite get it through the Norwegian defence. Alai battling away there again and wins the ball back and is going to get a throw. Good play there from Alai, and it's now Conan who's thrown that in to Sangare, and that's with Conan again on this near side. Conan, good run, good play, pulls the ball back across. It's now comes all the way out to Sangare, who hits a shot way, way over the bar. That's hit the next American stadium. Either that or he thinks he's playing American football, one of the two, because that ball's gone flying into the crowd. But there's a new ball there ready for Oyen Nyland to set this goal kick. And he now launches that one long down the field, and it's flicked inside there by Sorloth in towards Sander Berge. And in the end, it's got out of play for a Norway throw, which shall be taken there by Marcus Pedersen. And it's now played further down the line. Now looking towards Sorloth. Sorloth inside now to Sander Berge. And Sander Berge gives it to Hegem. And Hegem now gets it back off of Noosa. It's now gone further forward now to Sander Berge. And Hegem back to Sander Berge. And Sander Berge now looks across to this near side. And is doing some twisting and turning here. And gives it now wider to Hegem. Hegem now inside to Patrick Berg. Berg back to Sander Berger. And Berger now inside. Gives it to Erdegaard. Erdegaard back to Berger and goes back to Erdegaard. Erdegaard now goes all the way back to Nyland. And Nyland quickly gives that out to Christopher Ayer. Ayer now to Erdegaard. Erdegaard carrying this ball forward. Gives it wider now to Pedersen. And Pedersen battling away on this near side. Plays the ball over the top, looking towards Sorloth. There's one back there, only briefed by Agbadu, and now given away to Erdegaard. Erdegaard charging forward. Noosa wants it playing to him. Noosa gets it. He then plays it round the corner there. It's flicked up in the air over the top, and in the end, it's going to be dealt with by Yahia Fafana. And it's now going back down this near side with Christ Inai Alai. Alai gives it to Diamande, back to Alai. And Alai now plays it across further to Kessier. Frank Kessier now wider over to Gilaya Due. Gila Due carries the ball inside. He then plays it wide to Nicolas Pépé. Nicolas Pépé now gives it back to Kessier, and Kessier to Cousineau. Cousineau gives it to Agbadu. It's now wide to Conan on this near side. He plays it inside now to Eli. Christ Inai. He now plays it wider over to that far side to Nicolas Pépé. Nicolas Pépé. He's trying to get past Mother Wolf. Plays it back inside out to Due. Due. Shot blocked there. Shot saved them from Nicolas Pépé. It comes back out now to Due. Due again here. Trying to get round Noosa. Can't quite get round Noosa, the goal scorer. He now is charging forward, but it's blocked off by Due, and it's gone out for a throw. Uh, Good save there from Oyen Nyland a minute or so ago. And it's now going to be Moller Wolf who throws this one in. It's launched over top now towards Erling Haaland. Haaland down to Noosa. Noosa back inside to Haaland. He looks up, plays it further inside to Ødegaard. Ødegaard goes charging through the middle. Tries to get it through. He's screaming handball. He's screaming handball, but nothing given. And Sangare now can come away with it. Ibrahim Sangare turns. Now plays it back to Gila Due and now to Kusanau. Kusanau gives it across to Agbadu. And it's now with Conan. Conan now down to Diamande. Diamande into Ulai. Now to Conan. And Conan to Kessier. Kessier. He now gives it across to Sangare. Sangare goes wide to that far side now with Nicolas Pépé. Pépé carries the ball forward, then looks up. He doesn't look particularly confident in control, so plays it back now to, I believe that was Sangare. And it's now with Agbadu. Agbadu now to Eli. Eli on this near side. He dinks the ball over the top, looking to Conan. Conan. He whips the ball in. It's just evaded Bonnie. It comes down now to Nicolas Pépé. Now to the onrushing Diamande, but he can't quite get the shot away. Actually, that was Kessier. And it's just got into the hands there for a tame shot into the arms of Oyen Nyland. Wouldn't surprise me if in about 10 or so minutes they look to the bench, Ivory Coast. They've got Ahmad Diallo, Simon Adingra, Evan Gezand, and also YE is also on the bench. So it wouldn't surprise me if they look to the bench at some point, as it's now one back there. Actually, there's a foul there on Martin Ødegaard, and Norway are going to have a free kick just outside the Ivory Coast box. There's a few players over this for Norway. You've got Patrick Berg, Martin Ødegaard. It's probably going to be Ødegaard that takes this, though. I'd be heavily surprised if Martin Ødegaard doesn't whip this one in towards the back post. I'd be very surprised from this position. Everybody else has walked away from it now, so it is going to be Martin Ødegaard who is going to take this and whip this into the box with an outswinger. Over on that far side, the Norway left. Martin Ødegaard's going to get ready to whip this ball in. Takes a couple of steps back, does Martin Ødegaard. Then gets ready to whip this in. He whips this now towards the back post. It's gone all the way through and claimed by Yahia Fofana. Nobody else could really connect with it. And Fofana now shoved this one out to Kessier. Kessier to Eli. Eli gives it back to Kessier. Frank Kessier. Now gives it back inside to Eli. Has got some space now as Eli. Looks up and then dinks this ball over the top here towards Conan. Conan now towards the edge of the box. Having a run. Now goes on the outside. Then tries to go past number 6, Patrick Berg. It comes off Patrick Berg and goes out for a corner. There's actually a handball from Sander Berge in there after that free kick anyway, so nothing would have counted. It bounced off his arm. But Yan Diamande takes the corner inside to Eli. Eli further across now to Sangare. He dinks the ball in and gets it back now to Sangare. It bounces out to him. He gives it now back to Eli. Eli now dinks the ball over the top there. And it's headed out towards Diamande. Diamande trying to get around a couple of Norwegian players. Plays it back inside now to Eli. And Eli now gives it across to Sangare again. He has a long range shot way over the bar. And one of the fans in the crowd there, one of the Norway fans, has claimed hold of that ball and is bouncing up and down, holding it now. Very, very excited to play football. As we've just now seen the replay of Antonio Noosa's goal in the first half, which separates these two sides in Dallas as it stands. After an hour here on Turton Talks. If you are new and have not dropped me a subscribe on YouTube, do consider dropping a subscribe and also like the video, as Ivory Coast have made a substitution here as expected. I think Jan and Johan Bonny has gone off. I'm not quite sure if it's Wahi that's come on. but so far I haven't got any kind of information on what has happened. So it's going to be a throw. Okay, Bonnie and Ali have gone off. Wahi and Diallo have gone on. There's no and Johan Bonnie anymore, or Christ Inau Ali. And the two substitutions are Ahmad Diallo, the number 15 Ahmad Diallo. And we also have the striker Wahi, Elil Wahi. He's come on, and he also wears the number 12. I'm just going to check the spelling of his first name. It's the wrong way around. It's actually Wahi. I'll just grab his shirt number, then we'll get back to jumping and see what's occurring on the field. As currently Amad Diallo is carrying that ball forward, and then plays it wider to Jan Diamande. And it's won back there by Pedersen. Number 12 for Wahi. Right. There we go. And it's now gone forward there, looking towards the run of Sorloth, but it's played there by, I think that was by Kusano. It's now gone wide at far side with Nicolas Pépé. Inside to Ahmad. Ahmad looks up. He now goes on a charging run, trying to get round Patrick Berg. He looks up, now just Ahmad, and plays the ball round the corner. Good ball that, smart ball that. Ball back towards YE. Can't quite get there. And it's now claimed by Sander Berge, but won back there by Sangare. Now wider to Conan. Conan looks up. He's not really got much of an option. So has to go back inside to Sangare. Now across to Kusano. Now to Kessier. Kessier wider to Nicolas Pépé. Nicolas Pépé charges inside. Now gives it across to Sangare, but the ball's just a little bit further behind Sangare. So he has to go wide to claim it. Now it has a little bit of stride forward. Now plays the ball through the gap. Good ball to Diamande. Diamande tries to play the ball through towards YE. It's blocked there by Sander Berge and has gone out of play for another corner to the Ivory Coast. Which Diamande is going to take in just a moment here. Jan Diamande gets ready to take this on this near side. And the referee's come across again here and is telling telling Diamande he has to move the ball back inside the corner quadrant. He is being very pedantic about this referee. He wants that ball behind that white line. Diamande whips the ball into the box. It comes down now as far as Ahmad. Ahmad now dinks that ball towards the back post. It's headed up in the air, back across down by Ivory Coast, and in the end cleared away by Erling Haaland, no other than Erling Haaland. And then Conan has to head the ball back. Haaland charges after that, but Fafana clears that away over the top, and that's going to go out of play for a Norway throw deep inside their own half. Haaland flicked that ball up originally. It wasn't particularly dealt with, and in the end he has to deal with it as Agbadu tried to head that ball down off of Berger. It's now with Kusano, and Kusano gives it to Due. Gila Due now looks like he plays it across to Sangare. Sangare now forward to Ahmad. Ahmad gives it further forward now to Sangare. Sangare. He's now played it down the line to Due. Due now to Pépé. Pépé over the top. Looking at the run of Wahi, but great claim that by Oyen Nyland. That was brave. That was smart. And he had to get there. But a good claim there by Oyen Nyland. And it's now played out and threaded through there. Looking for the run of Pedersen. And that's Sorloth, sorry. And now it's gone wide and out for a corner. off of Agbadou. So Norway have a corner with 65 minutes gone here in Dallas as Martin Ødegaard comes striding across to take this. Make sure you put it in the quadrant, Martin. This referee is very strict on this one. He's got his on the line, but Ødegaard's going to get ready to take this. He whips this ball into the box. It's headed down there by Erling Haaland, but there's allegedly some grappling by Sangare and Sander Berge just as it's about to be taken there. Actually, it was, yeah, Sangare and Sander Berge. There's a bit of pushing and shoving as the ball was trying to go in there. So Martin Ødegaard is going to get a retake. So he steps back again, does Martin Ødegaard. Puts his arm up. Gets ready to whip this ball into the box. Does whip it into the box. It comes all the way through the back post. It was shot towards goal there by Sagan. And now out charges just Kessié. Kessié whips the ball over the top. Looking there for that run through from, I think it was Nicolas Pépé. And couldn't quite get there. So it's going to go out for a throw now to Norway. The referee is listening to something on VAR. There's something occurring here on VAR. He's screaming at AEA to stop talking to him. Now the VAR was listening. He's been told to wait still again here is Conan. And in the end, I think the throw-in has now been taken by Conan, given inside to number 18 there, which is Sangare. And Sangare now to Kusano, and Kusano to Due, and Due wider to Pépé, and Pépé now gave it forward to Diallo. It's now further forward again here towards YE. YE can't quite keep hold of that there. It's now come down to Nusa. Nusa having a run, trying to break free. It's now with Sander Berge. Now it's gone wider from Haaland to that far side. And now back with Nusa. Nusa. And it's headed out. And in fact, actually, is offside. It's going to be a free kick to be taken by Ivory Coast. And that signals the second hydration break of the match and the last hydration break of the match. So here we go with another 3-minute hydration break. Ivory Coast have looked strong again in the second half, but not able to take their chances. Norway have had a couple of their own chances, but again, not really managed to get anywhere near making any kind of a dent, further dent in Ivory Coast's chances. But Ivory Coast are really going to need to chase after these 2 goals if they want to go through into the round of 16. Otherwise, Norway will be going to play Brazil. Oh. I'll be interested to see if there are any more changes being made here by any of the sides, because I think they could probably do a bit more of a freshening up. Wouldn't surprise me if Ivory Coast make another couple during this break, or just the other side of this break. Just looking there at, I think it was Tegan who had the shot and Ahmad cleared it off the line. Actually, it was Pedersen that had the shot and it's cleared off the line. Marcus Pedersen. And I think they were trying to claim a penalty at the back post, but wasn't too much in that. They were clearly looking for it. So I think, to be honest, it's probably made a sense that it's still as it was. And we are still now waiting for this hydration break to finish. Before we go into the last 20 minutes plus added time in the second half, as we've just seen Antonio Nusa's goal again here. If you did miss it, Antonio Nusa was the goal scorer. He puts Norway ahead and currently in the driving seat with 20 minutes to go here in Dallas. Mm. Let's have a quick look at what else could who else could come on here. I think they could also see Gesand, Seko Fofana, Simon Adingra. They could all make their mark. But there's going to be a couple of changes for Norway here. Norway going to take off Antonio Nusa and put on Oscar Bob. And there's also going to be another change for Norway as well, as they also are going to take off Alexander Sorloth and put on Andreas Shelderup. Luckily, I got Andreas Shelderup pronunciation worked out before this game, so I can pronounce Andreas Shelderup. Can't spell Shelderup, but I can say it. That's 21. And then there's put number 22, Oscar Bob. Bob. I didn't even know Ivory Coast was a country. I can't lie. Yeah, they're an African country. On the globe, they often call themselves Côte d'Ivoire, but I just call them the Ivory Coast. It's now with Kessié, and Kessié to Sangare. Sangare now looks and plays it back to Kessié. Kessié carries it forward, and now looks up again and plays and doesn't play it. So he's kept hold of it still now, and now turns and gives it back Kessié to Agpadu. Agpadu now to Kusa now plays it back to Kessié. Kessié. I need to take hydration break off the screen. There we go. And it's now with Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf. He plays it back to Tegan. Tegan. No, it's Hegem. Sorry. Hegem now plays it back to Nyland, and Nyland has cleared that out, looking towards Pedersen. The Norway fans doing the rowing boat move started to look quite impressive in tandem there. And it's now with Ahmad. Ahmad. He gives it wider still now to Gila Due. Due now plays it forward to Pépé, and Pépé now inside to Cousineau. Cousineau to Sangare. Sangare now to Kessié, and back to Sangare, who twists and turns again, and then goes back through the gap. Good play this from Sangare, who then plays it wider now to Ahmad. Ahmad goes charging towards the edge of the box. Good play, interchange there. Ahmad goes round, hits a shot. What a goal that was from Ahmad! And there's been an equalising goal here for the Ivory Coast. The Ivory Coast are back in this one, and it's Amad Diallo. Good link-up play. I think it was Waihi, but I'll get confirmation of that in just a second. But on 72 minutes, Amad Diallo off the bench has just put this very much level in the balance here. Amad Diallo. It was good interchange with Nicolas Pépé. That one, ball into the box, and then Ahmad just twists and turns. He goes round Moller Wolf, tricks past Hegem, and then curls that over the top there of the outstretched arm of Nyland, and Ahmad Diallo equalises for Ivory Coast. And yes, Ashley, as it stands, extra time is incoming if nobody scores in the last 15 minutes of this game. which means you'll get me for longer. It wouldn't surprise me if it does go to extra time because the past 3 have gone to extra time that I've watched. So seems to be a thing recently. Actually, the past 2, sorry, I watched because the other one I covered where it didn't go to extra time. But it's now with Ayer, and Ayer's played that forward towards Berger. Berger now plays us across to Pedersen, and Pedersen goes down the line looking towards Oscar Bob. It's gone out to play there for a Norway throw. I need to change that to 74. There's a classification for that. It's now gone wider to Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf now plays it inside to Sander Berger. Berger turns. He now plays it inside there to the number 16. Number 16. Oh, it's Pedersen. And it's now gone back round the corner there to Berge. Berge now goes back to Ayer. Ayer now looks up and plays it inside there to Erdegaard. Erdegaard now gives it back to Berge. Berge now plays it forward to Haaland. Haaland further forward now and gives it out to Schouderup. Schouderup now dinks it across down to Patrick Berg. Patrick Berg gives it back. Can't take it down there, Erdegaard. And it's now beaten to the ball there. Conan, Oscar Bob couldn't quite get there. And it's now going to be a throw which Pedersen is going to take. Pedersen. Marcus Pedersen now throws it in to Berge, back to Pedersen, down the line now to Erdegaard. Erdegaard further inside now to Sander Berge. It's now gone back to Pedersen again here, battling away with Diamande. Still going, good play this from Pedersen. Now with the ball in, it's flicked off, and now Wahi can come away with this. Good running this by Eli Wahi. Wahi goes to the other side to Pépé. Pépé now charging forward. Now playing on the corner to Wahi. Wahi goes back to Pépé. Pépé goes down. He's looking for a penalty. He's incensed. He thinks that's a penalty. I'm not so convinced, but he thinks that is a penalty as he went down there under the pull by Ayer. But it's come back out the other side now with Sander Berge. Berge now gives it back across to Erdegaard. Erdegaard now wider still to Schouderup. Schouderup now plays it back to Patrick Berg. Now it's back inside to Erdegaard. Erdegaard. He's got Moller Wolf out there. Moller Wolf now trying to get around his man. Can't quite do so. So comes back and gives it inside now to Sander Berge. Sander Berge back to Schouderup. Schouderup dinks the ball into the box and straight into the hands of Yair Fofana. Poor ball that in the end. It's now being brought out by Yan Diamande. Diamande goes scampering towards the box here. Still goes Diamande. Still going into the box. Now to Amad Diallo. It's hit against Ayer. Bounces now down to Pedersen. And it's actually adjudged to have been offside. So it's going to be a free kick there for Norway. Yeah, I'm not convinced that was ever going to be a penalty for Nicolas Pépé. It's now with Patrick Berg, giving that wide assist near side to Pedersen. Pedersen now to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob cuts inside and gives it to Erdegaard. Erdegaard now plays it wide assist near side to Pedersen, who whips the ball into the box. It's cleared up in the air there by Kusano. Now Agbadu's not quite dealt with that one comfortably. So now it's come down again here to Erdegaard. Now to Ayer. Now goes wider still to Pedersen. And Pedersen now gives it back to Erdegaard. Erdegaard goes wide now to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob now plays it inside to Sander Berge. Back to Bob. Round the corner again to Sander Berge. Can't quite get round his man there, Agbadu. And now Berge again wins it. And again shut down by Berge. And cleared away by Conan. Up now towards halfway. But it's only got down as far as Christopher Ayer. Ayer now gives it wider still to Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf goes further wider now to Schouderup. Schouderup cuts inside. Still battling with it now is Schouderup. Now plays it across to Berge is inside to Erdegaard. Now it's come down the near side to Bob, back to Erdegaard, but intercepted there by Conan. Plays down the line, but intercepted there again by Pedersen to Erdegaard, back to Pedersen. Goes round the corner now to Pedersen, but it's blocked off by Conan. It's now with Diamande inside to Sangare. And it's one back there by Diamande. He gives it now further back to Conan. Conan inside Sangare. There's a guy down in the middle of the park here for a moment. It's number 15 for Ivory Coast, which is Amad Diallo, who is clutching his back there as Amad Diallo, the equalising goal scorer. Currently watching on there is somebody wearing number 32, Gracia. I'm not sure who that is. But Amad Diallo has gone down here and does not look very clever. We have a stoppage in play, which will automatically now get added on to the added time at the end of this half. If it does go to extra time, I'll be taking a quick 1 to 2 minute break in between if it does go to extra time. But I still think there's chance for a side to win this yet. If Amad Diallo then has to go off again, I'd probably see Evan Gezand come on. But we'll have to see here, because at the moment Amad Diallo has not gone off, but he is not looking very clever. Okay, and now Amad Diallo is being told he has to leave the field for a minute as he just received some treatment, and the throw will be taken in by Oscar Bob and then played back out again here, and Ivory Coast will have a throw, which will be taken by Conan. Conan gets ready to launch this ball into the box. Does Conan? Well, no, he gets ready to launch forward, sorry. And it's gone forward, but it's headed flicked inside there by Berge. Won back by, well, tried to be won back by Nicolas Pépé. Ahmad's getting his back sprayed currently, so there's going to be a change here. The number 16 is coming off for Norway, which is Marcus Pedersen. And we're going to see Orsnes. Frederick Ornez. I'm going for Ornez. Frederick Ornez is coming on at right back. Frederick Ornez. He comes on. I'm not quite sure whether he's playing at right back, but that's where I'm placing him. I think he wears number 14. Yes, he wears number 14, Frederick Ornez. As it's now with Ayer, he plays it across now to Muller Wolf, he gives it wider to Shelderup, still trying to carry the ball forward here, and gives it back now to Erdegaard, now into the middle of the park. He looks up, turns, and now gives it to Orsnes. He now gives it back now to Ayer. He plays it forward to Sander Berge, and Sander Berge down wide on that far side to Hegem, down towards Shelderup, now inside to Sander Berge, now to Shelderup cuts inside, good run this by Shelderup, tries to get it around the corner towards Haaland, that's blocked off. Ayer now heads out towards Muller Wolf gives this one back to Sander Berge, and Sander Berge now looks and plays this one wide to Muller Wolf now inside to Shelderup into the box, tries to pull that across, blocked there by Dewey, and got out of play there for a throw, which will be taken by Shelderup. Shelderup now throws this one back to Sander Berge, trying to go forward the other way, plays it now to Muller Wolf, back to Sander Berge, and now gives it to Erdegaard. Erdegaard. Now gives it back to Ayer. And Ayer gives it across to Hegem. Back across to Ayer. And Ayer now forward to Sander Berge. Now to Erdegaard. Erdegaard twists and turns on halfway. And then carries the ball over the top. And now gives it to Orsnes. Orsnes now gives it forward to Bob. Oscar Bob cuts inside. Plays the ball through. Looking there for the ball comes across. And Haaland puts it in. Erling Haaland scores for Norway and restores their lead. I'm not quite sure who put the ball across, but Erling Haaland has his goal this evening. And again, that's damning for Ivory Coast because Erling Haaland on 85 minutes scores and really puts Norway in the driving seat to play Brazil. Erling Haaland. 2 for Norway. So currently again we'll have no extra time. The ball comes across from Patrick Berg, I think there. Good ball. 3 players tried to go to Patrick Berg. One forgot that Erling Haaland was going to be there. Frank Kessié was the other side of Erling Haaland. No one was quite looking at where the ball was going to come across. And Erling Haaland just puts it into the empty net like you'd expect him to do. And Norway are now back in the dominant seat here in Dallas and look like they will be the ones that go and play Brazil unless Ivory Coast can do something in the next 3 minutes plus added time. But that's the 60 goals in 53 Norway appearances for the big Norwegian, Erling Haaland. As Nicolas Pépé has come off for Ivory Coast and on in his place is Diakite. Now then, who is this Diakite that we talk about? His name is Umar Diakite. Has joined us on the field. Umar Diakite. And for Cercle Bruges forward, what number does he wear for the Ivory Coast then? Do let me know. He wears number 14. Goody, goody. Okay, so there's going to be a throw on that free kick on the far side, which Hegem takes inside to Christopher Ayer. The Ivory Coast fans start praying again, and it's now with Orsnes. Now to Bob. Oscar Bob turns. Now plays it back to Orsnes, and the ball goes over top again, looking for the big Norwegian Erling Haaland. He's managed to take that down, given now to, I think that's to Erdegaard, but it's taken down now wide to Bob. Oscar Bob now plays it back to Erdegaard, and Erdegaard wider again to Oscar Bob. Bob can't quite get round Conan, so it's got out to play for a throw, which Oscar Bob gets ready to take. Actually, he's going to leave this one for Orsnes. He throws it down the line now to Erdegaard. Erdegaard battling away there, and it's pushed off the field there. And Frank Kessié has a throw. Erdegaard's not happy, but Kessié leaves that to Conan. Conan launches that into Sangare. Back to Conan. He now slides the ball around the corner there to Sangare. It's now forward to Ahmad. Ahmad turns. He's looking forward. Now plays it to Diamande. Yan Diamande goes charging forward towards the penalty area, does Yan Diamande. Now plays it inside towards Diallo. Now that's blocked off by Orsnes. It's now Erdegaard. Erdegaard now plays it inside to Sander Berge. Berge, he gives it back now to Moller Wolf. And Moller Wolf looks up and plays it forward to Shelderub. Inside now to Berge. Berge now gives it further forward to Patrick Berg. Berg carries the ball forward. Way too much space for Patrick Berg. He plays it to Haaland. Haaland holding him off, battling away there. Erling Haaland can't quite get a clean shot away. In the end, it's gone wide and behind for a goal kick. as we head very scarily close to the added time at the end of this 90 minutes. And it's now with Conan. Conan. Down the line further to Ahmad. Ahmad, there's going to be 7 minutes of added time. So we'll go to 97 as a minimum. It's now with Kusano. Kusano forward to Kessier. Kessier. He goes forward now to Diakite. Diakite now plays back there to Kusano. And now plays across, blocked off Haaland. And it's now with Haaland. Haaland now wider again. Here to Patrick Berg. Patrick Berg. And now goes back to Moller Wolf. Moller Wolf now to Sander Berge. Back to Moller Wolf. And launched forward. It's now taken down there by Gila Due. Due looks up, dinks it over the top, trying to get through towards Wahi. Wahi goes down, nothing given. And it's now with Oyen Nyland, who gives it wider down to Orsnes. And it's now won back there by Conan. Conan towards the edge of the box, pulls it across, saved there by Nyland, bounces down. No one can quite get there until Diakate brings it down just outside the box. It's now back there with, I believe that's Kessier. Kessier across to Sangare. Sangare. Wider still now to Diakate. Round the corner again, that's Kessier. Frank Kessier. Now plays it back to Diakate, who whips the ball into the box. Diamande can't quite get up there. They're trying to claim that he was pulled over, but actually he's adjudged to have fouled Orsnes in the process. And that's going to be a free kick to Norway inside their own penalty area. With about 5 minutes to go. Ah. That was a good way to pass across to Erling Haaland for that goal. Great credit has to be given to Patrick Berg. Good run and a good ball across. And in fact, a good ball from Oscar Bob to start it all off as well. Brilliant that. He's now on 5 goals in the tournament behind Messi's 6, ahead of Mbappe's 4. Obviously, France and Argentina have got to play later in the round of 32. As we now get ready to see, I think Jan Diamande is coming off. We're seeing Torre and Gezand. Evan Gesand is going to come on. So Diamande and Conan are going off, and Torre and Gezand are coming on. So I've now lost it here. Where are we? 22 for Evan Gezand and Torre. This guy. He's also a midfielder, but he's going to be playing at left back. Bazumana Torre. Bazumana Torre has come on as our left back. He plays for Hoffenheim currently. As the goal kick, which is cleared long by Yaya Fafana. Up towards YE. That might even up towards Gezand. Sangare is battling away there with Oscar Bob. Still going. Good physicality there from Ibrahim Sangare. Ståle Solbakken is raging. Sangare has had a bit of a confrontation with the dugout there, and then takes the throw in quickly to Frank Kessier. It's now wide on that far side with Diakite. Diakite as 24. That needs to display that. Right, put that in there. Right. And it's now with, I think that's Diakite, who whips that ball in. It bounces out now to Ibrahim Sangare. Sangare, he goes down, and it's going to be a free kick to the Ivory Coast with about 3 minutes to go. There's a bit of a confrontation between Sangare and Erdegaard, then between Wahi and Oscar Bob, then between Ayer and Wahi. It's all kicking off because now Gezan's got involved. and there's a bit of pushing and shoving from both sides here, losing their discipline late on as the pressure is getting to the Ivory Coast. So, and I think Norway are just not happy with Ibrahim Sangare. It was a foul. He got tripped by Ødegaard, but Ødegaard and Sangare clearly weren't having it there. I don't know why Ødegaard was squaring up to Sangare. That's not a wise move. Sangare is about 6'5" and Ødegaard's about 5'9". I mean, seriously, get a grip. It's now Amad Diallo for this free kick. Kezier is also over this, so we'll see which one goes for what here. This needs to really be quality if they want to try and force extra time here. And Diallo dinks his ball over the top, and a great save by Erling Haaland. What a great save that was! As Diallo whips that towards the top corner, it was dipping, and Erling Haaland had to get across with his right top hand. That's probably his left top hand, and push that over the bar and out for a corner. What a great save that was from Erling Haaland. And it's now with Amad, who whips the ball in for that corner. It bounces all the way out now as far as Sangare. It's flicked down to Gilajuwe. Bob tries to win that back, and it's gone out in the end for a throw, I believe, to Norway. Again, we're watching this brilliant, amazing save. It's with his front hand from Erling Haaland, and it's now with Torre back across to Fofana. Fofana carries the ball out of his box, clears this one upfield long, up now towards, I think that's Diakite, but it's now brought down by Waihi. Now it's Diakite, who goes scampering forward, tries to go round his man, but Wolf makes himself big on the floor, and in the end, it's gone out for a corner, which it looks like Ahmad is going to take over on that far side. They're sending Yahia Fofana forward, or the Ivory Coast. So they're putting everybody into the box here as the goalkeeper arrives just on the edge of the box. So we'll see what happens from this resulting corner. I never usually am a big fan of the goalkeepers going up because it usually results in a goal the other way. But Amad Diallo gets ready to launch it into the box. And does so. Launches it into the box. Comes to the back post. It comes down towards Gila Due. Due, you may as well get this into the box. It's put back now to number 26. And Norway have beaten the Ivory Coast. Erling Haaland sends Norway into a meeting with Brazil. Ivory Coast 1, Norway 2 here in Dallas. Goal from Antonio Nusa in the first half was enough to see us into the half-time interval. But then we had a goal back there from Amad Diallo on 74 minutes. But then Erling Haaland at the end of this one, off a pass from Patrick Berg, clean through on goal, slides into the empty net, and Norway progress to the round of 16. And this is where we say goodbye to the Ivory Coast for the World Cup. Their tournament is over at the round of 32 stage here in Dallas at the hands of Norway. I shall be back on Thursday at, I believe it's 8 o'clock. I'll just check this for you, but I believe it's 8 o'clock for Spain versus Austria. I'm just going to check this for you now. Very active last bit there. Yeah, it was very active last bit there. No, I'm not covering the England game against Democratic Republic of Congo because that kicks off at 5 o'clock and I'll be having my food then. So unfortunately, I can't cover the England game this time round. And again, I can't cover the England game if they make it through anyway in the next round because it kicks off at 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's good that I don't cover the England games all of the time. So I'll be back on the 2nd of July at 8 o'clock for the game in Los Angeles between Spain and Austria. And then I'll also be on Friday at 7 o'clock for Australia versus Egypt. And then I think I'll also be on Saturday for the game between Canada and Morocco in Houston in the round of 16. So I'll have my break tomorrow, if that's allowed, and then I'll be there for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But before Twitch get hit by another ad break, I am going to say that is that for today's stream. I shall be back again on Thursday, but if you have carried on with us for this long, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you are on Twitch, don't forget to drop me a follow if you haven't already. But I think Ashley is the only one currently over on Twitch. But if you do watch this on the replay, don't forget to drop me a follow. And until next time, here on Turton Talks, I bid you a very good evening and goodbye for now.